truest work I'm here to do must come through. I commit to my primal yes.
Hey, welcome to Primal Yes. This is Joshua Ajita. I want to talk about why I needed Primal Yes for myself. The essence of your work is our tagline. I had such a difficult time finding the essence of my work because it was kind of a catch-22. Because my actual personal work is to learn, to be open, to flatten any kind of hierarchy. You can't see my hands, I'm going like this. To flatten any hierarchy. And it's so easy for me to be a teacher and a guide. It's so easy for me to see what other people are subconsciously stuck in. And so I can point it out. You did this. That's so easy for me. And it's helpful too. That's what made it so confusing about my work for the last 10, 15 years is I'm good at it. I've really helped a lot of people. And it kind of crystallized me from growing further by not allowing myself to be vulnerable, which is, of course, my personal work. So Primal Yes is about finding this sweet spot, which is like what I really need for myself and what I really want to give, what I really want to provide, and also what I'm really good at. And so you can see this is kind of a conflict because these two things are, in my mind at least, it seemed like I can't be an authority if my personal work is to be vulnerable. It seemed like they were opposite directions. So to be able to actually be available to what I don't know, to actually be able to learn and to actually be able to stop being the focal point and actually make my client the focal point and to actually help other people's body of work to find its form and to help other people find their genius. That's actually what I'm here to do. It's not all about me as the brilliant artist. I can make this, I can make this, I can make this, and I can, but it's just kind of boring and lonely. It's not really lighting me up. And it's confusing, because at one point earlier, it did light me up. I went to film school. I am actually a great filmmaker, and I can make a film that's totally moving for people. And I can just kind of like pull that out of thin air, and it's like, no problem. And what I'm really new at, my growth edge is just being able to share like this, just being able to not have to play a role and not have to position myself as an authority just because I want to be seen that way or because that'll make more money or because that'll be whatever, and that's kind of like what I'm growing out of. So my primal yes is another way of saying knowing and focusing in a way where I'm moving toward what's real for me and becoming aware of the old habits of what I am not interested in anymore. So I just got done completing our whole kind of outline of services, and it's wild. It's like I've never seen a company that offers what we're offering. It's very interesting, but it's also kind of like, it raises questions for me, like, are people gonna get this? This is like amazing. I would want this, but it's also like so weird. And it's so precise. It's so personalized to the client's process and to the client's need. And I'm using my filmmaking skills to address that exactly. At first, when I started exploring this, I was like, it's kind of like I'm casting a spell with the film, but I'm not casting a spell. It's more like I'm breaking a spell. A hypnotist's most important job is not to hypnotize, but to dehypnotize, to bring someone out of a really deep trance. And so that's what these film offerings are designed to do. So if you're curious and you want to see what the heck I'm talking about, I have put a lot of work and a lot of money and time into creating what I call the Essence Engine. So by answering a few questions, it'll take like 10 minutes, you'll be able to dial in to what your work is really about under all of the formats and ideas, what the core is, and what stops you from being able to express that. And I even set it up so it'll generate a movie poster. So it'll tell you, like, if your work was a movie, this is what it would look like. This is what the poster would look like. To paint a picture so you just really get the vibe of what your essence is. The Essence Engine, even though it's free, gives you a lot. And, having the diagnosis is certainly helpful, but it doesn't actually move you forward until it's embodied. Like we're talking about with My Growth Edge, embodying our growth edge is how we actually get the movement, get the traction, move to the next stage of our story. As a filmmaker, this is for businesses, but I've positioned the whole thing around your story and what stage of your story you're in and what your next stage is, so that you can genuinely move forward instead of trying to skip steps and shaming yourself for not being somewhere you think you should be. By accepting this is the stage you're at is the only way you can move to the next stage. And speaking for myself also. So I hope you'll check out primalyes.com and simply enjoy and benefit from the Essence Engine. I'm really happy with what it's turned out to be. And I hope you'll not take for granted the movie of your business and the story of your life, and get into our primal yes together. Okay,
The thing
bye.
underneath. I thought my work was the work. I thought my name was the nerve. I thought if I polished the surface enough, I could finally deserve. But there's a little light under the floorboards, and it doesn't care what I sell. It just knocks when I'm lying, and it sings when I tell. I tried to make myself useful, I tried to make myself neat, I tried to package the thunder and call it something complete. But the body has a language that the clever mind resists. It says no with a fever, it says yes like a kiss. And I don't know how to fake it anymore, I don't know how to carry what isn't mine. I don't know how to smile at the door when the room has been wrong the whole time. There's a thing underneath, there's a pulse in the deep, there's a truth that won't beg, but it will not let me sleep. And the yes is not loud, it's a bell in the chest that says strip it all down till there's nothing left but the thing, the thing, the thing underneath. It shows up in the work before I know what it means, in the sentence I keep cutting, in the song behind the scene. It shows up when I'm bored with the thing that used to shine, not because it was false then, but because it is not mine anymore. I used to call it resistance, I used to call it a flaw, I used to punish the animal for knowing what it saw. But maybe I am not broken, maybe I am being led by the part of me still breathing under everything I said. And I don't need a brighter costume, I don't need a better plan, I need to stop betraying the quiet in my hands. There's a thing underneath, there's a pulse in the deep, there's a truth that won't beg, but it will not let me sleep. And the yes is not loud, it's a bell in the chest, it says strip it all down till there's nothing left but the thing, the thing, the thing underneath. My essence is not an idea, my essence is not a mood, it is not the face I made so I could be approved. It is older than my fear, it is younger than my name, it is the part that keeps returning when I'm tired of the game. And every time I lose it, I start selling from my wound. Every time I hear it, the whole room blooms. There's a thing underneath, there's a pulse in the deep, there's a truth that won't flatter, but it knows what to keep. And the yes is not pretty, it is not here to impress, it says this is the door and your life is the test. So strip it all down till the false things leave, and the work becomes a body that can finally breathe with the thing, the thing, the thing underneath. Not the mask, not the pitch, not the proof, not the trick, just the ache when it's clean, just the work when it's me, just the yes underneath.